Hi guys, this is Tasman from Tasman's Crochet Creations, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to crochet these really cute worry pets. Okay, so for this tutorial I'll be using DK, light worsted weight yarn, that's a yarn weight of 3, and with that I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook. You'll be needing some scissors, a tapestry needle, a stitch marker, as well as some polyfill or pillow stuffing to stuff the worry pet. Okay, so let's get started with the tutorial. Okay. So to begin, we are actually going to be doubling up our yarn so that it's like a bulky weight yarn almost, or chunky yarn. Because the chunkier the better, you know, it's more softer, it's more squishier and cuddlier, of course. So to do that, we are going to lay our yarn in like an S shape. Actually, it's a Z. It's a Z, okay. So you're going to place your tail end on the left. Then you're going to bring this yarn like back on itself like that. Then you're going to bring this back onto itself to form like a Z. Okay, so there's your 3 loops. You are going to squish them together, pick them up, and then you are going to do your, well, you're actually not going to do a slip knot, you're going to make a magic ring. So the way I do it is make an X, and then yarn under, pull that loop through, and then do a chain one to secure the magic ring. Okay, so now these two that's coming from the magic ring here, as you can see, these are your tail ends. We will use these tail ends to close off the magic ring, and this loop here and this tail end is your working yarn. So now to make it like a chunky weight yarn or a bulky weight yarn, you're going to take this loop and you're going to pick up your working yarn, and you're going to pull, you are going to pull, let me just do that again for you. So yeah, you are going to take this loop, you're going to pick up the working yarn and pull that all the way through. So as you can see, it's like tripled up almost. Okay, so now we're going to put 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So that's 1, this is 2 and 3. Just get some more yarn here. Okay, and again, also to do a single crochet, you just insert, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. So I need 2 more. That's 1 and 2 more. Okay, so now to close this magic ring, we're going to take this little loop and the tail end, and we're going to pull tight on it, and then you'll see that the tail end will close up. Okay, so now once we are finished with like the chunky weight yarn, now we're back to like DK weight yarn. All we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to take our loop, pick up our working yarn through the loop, and then pull on the working yarn. We'll pull the working yarn through. Sorry, my worry pets are going all over the table here. Okay, so now for round 2, we will be working in the round. So yeah, so now for the next round, we're going to insert through the first loop, and we're going to put 2 single crochets through the first stitch, and we are basically going to do an increase in each stitch. So now an increase is when you put 2 stitches into the same stitch. Okay, so now that's 2 stitches, and now you just want to get your stitch marker, place your stitch marker into the first stitch of those 2 stitches, and then you're just going to repeat that, putting 2 single crochets in each stitch around, and your stitch count should go up to 12, because now you're placing 2 stitches each stitch around, and there is 6. We started off with 6 stitches, so now we will have we will have 12 by the end of this round. So yeah, you can just go ahead and do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, so now we're back at the beginning. We just want to remove the stitch marker of the first stitch, and now for the third round we are going to do 1 single crochet increase in each stitch around. So it's 1 single crochet increase, 1 single crochet increase, 1 single crochet increase, all the way around until we get back to the beginning. So it's literally 1 single crochet, and then put your stitch marker back in, and then it is now an increase, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochet. Okay, so again it's 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet. So now you just want to repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and now your stitch count should be 24, 6, 12, no sorry, it should be 18, 6, 12, 18, yeah. So for your third round you should have a stitch count of 18. So yeah, I'll meet back up with you when we're finished with this round. So now for the next round, we're going to round 4. So for the next round, we're going to remove our stitch marker, and we're going to place 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So it's 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then in the third stitch we'll do an increase. So for round 4, it's literally all that it is. Let me just pull more yarn through. So again, to pull more yarn through, just going to take your working loop and then pull your working yarn through your working loop. Okay, so now we're going to repeat those steps. So it's literally just 1 single crochet in the next 2. So it's 1 and 2, and then it's an increase, 1 and 2. Then again 1 single crochet in the next 2, and then an increase. So yeah, you just repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning. And for round 4 you should have 24 stitches. Okay, so now for round 5 we can remove the stitch marker, and then we're going to replace 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, I'm going to place our stitch marker back. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then in the next stitch we're going to place an increase. Okay, so that's 1 and 2 for the increase. Then again we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. Then repeat that again, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then an increase in the next stitch. So you just repeat that all the way along, doing 1 single crochet in the next 3, and then an increase all the way back around until we get back to the beginning. And you should have 30 stitches in this round if I'm not mistaken. So it's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so I'll just meet back up with you when we're finished with this round. Okay, so now for the next round, round 6, we're going to remove our stitch marker and then do a single crochet in the first stitch. And then we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. I've already done the first stitch, so it's in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. So, but I should have 4 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's an increase, and then 1 single crochet in the next 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then an increase, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets, there you go. So sorry about that. Then in the next stitch we're going to be doing an increase. Okay, so you just repeat that process of putting 1 single crochet in the next 4, and then an increase all the way around until the beginning. And in this round you should have 36 stitches if I'm not mistaken. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, yeah. Okay, so you just repeat that, and then I'll meet you back at the beginning again. Okay, so now we're back at the beginning. So for the next 4 rounds, we're just going to be doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So it's for rounds 7 through to 10, we'll be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So for round 7 through to 10, which is 4 rounds, we will be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and we will keep a stitch count of 36 stitches all throughout these 4 rows. So yeah, we'll keep the same stitch count, and we will be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around until we get back at the beginning again. Okay, so I'll meet back up with you once you have completed all those 4 rounds. So I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 10. Okay, so now once you have completed all 4 of those rounds of doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, it should start to take shape now. It should start to turn up, and it should start looking like a bowl, I guess. So yeah, now what we're going to do is we are now going to place our safety eyes. Okay, so now as I said, these are, sorry, let me just get these out quickly. Okay, so as I said, these are 18mm safety eyes. Okay, so now we are going to place them in the 7th. Okay, so we're going to place the safety eyes between row 7 and row 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so this is row 7. So between row 7 and row 8, just push that through, and then put the washer on, the plastic piece at the back that will secure it in place. So push this one on, make sure you push it on nice and securely. Okay, and then when you want to place the other one, 5 stitches away from the other eye, and again between row 7 and 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so push that through, and then again put the little washer thing on the back and push that on. Okay, so there you go. Now we got our little eyes on. Okay, so now for the next row, for round 11, we are now going to start decreasing and making this into more of like a ball shape. So we're going to remove the stitch marker, and then in the first stitch, we are going to do 1 single crochet, of course, and then we are going to put our stitch marker back. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to be doing a decrease. So now the way I like to do my decrease, it's called the invisible decrease. You can do the decrease in the normal way. So the normal way is just going into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then go through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops on your hook. But I don't particularly like to use the normal decrease because you can see it, and it's not really all that appealing. It's very noticeable. So that's why the other decrease is called the invisible decrease, because it's not all that noticeable. So to do the invisible decrease, we're going to go through the front loops only of the next 2 stitches. We're going to go through the front loop like that, and then we're going to go straight into the next front loop like that, yarn over, pull through, and then do a single crochet as normal. So that's how you can tell if it's a decrease, is because there's like a little loop. So the single crochet is in through like a little loop, if that makes any sense. So if you look here, let me just do 1 single crochet in the next stitch so you can see what I mean. So there, you can see it's very visible there, but at the same time invisible. So the way to tell if you've done a decrease is like it looks like the single crochets in like a little like loop almost. So yeah, so you're going to keep doing that. You're going to be doing 1 single crochet in the next 4 and then a decrease. So I've already done 1 single crochet in the next stitch, so it's 1 single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease. So again, through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through, and then do a single crochet as normal, and try and keep your tension as tight as possible so you don't have gaps. Yeah, so you don't have gaps by your decrease, or even after you decrease. So again, 1 single crochet in the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then another decrease. Come on. And another decrease, I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So there you can somewhat see the difference, I guess, between a normal stitch and a decrease stitch. Don't know if you can tell the difference. Okay, so you're going to keep repeating that process, putting 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then a decrease, and then I'll meet back up with you when we're at the beginning again. And your stitch count should go down to 30 stitches after row 11. So yeah, I'll meet you back up once we're at the beginning. Okay, so once we're back at the beginning of the row, you should have ended on a decrease. Okay, so you should, as I said, you should have a stitch count of 30. So now for row 12, we are going to be doing 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. And then a decrease. So again, a decrease is in through the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through 2 to form a decrease. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease, and then it's again 3 single crochets. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease, and then again 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Alright, so now you can just repeat that process, doing 3 single crochets and then a decrease all the way around, and then I'll meet you back at the beginning again. And now at the end of round 12, I think it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 was that 13? No, it's 12. Okay, so at the end of round 12, as I said, you should have 30 stitches, if I'm not mistaken. So for the next round, we are going to remove our stitch marker, and then we are going to replace, we're going to put one single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's already in the first stitch there, and then second stitch, and then we're going to do a decrease. And again, a decrease is through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2 loops. So again, it is one single crochet in the next 2 loops, in the next 2 stitches, 1 2, and then decrease, and then 1, whoopsie, bumped the camera, 1 2, and decrease. Sorry if you're hearing crackers and stuff in the background. It is Diwali here in South Africa, so yeah, fireworks and everything is going off in my area. So yeah, one single crochet in the next 2, and then decrease, and then repeat this all the way around until the beginning again, and you should have 24 stitches now by the end of this row. So yeah, I'll meet back up with you when we've finished this round. Alright, so now I've made it back to the beginning, and again you should have ended on a decrease. So now what we're going to do is now we are just going to lightly stuff our worry pets. Okay, I'm just going to get more stuffing. Okay, so I've got more stuffing now. So now I'm just going to lightly stuff this. You also don't want to stuff it too much because it's supposed to be like a stress ball kind of vibe. So it must be soft and squishy. You know, it mustn't be too hard or too soft. Yeah, I think that's good. Actually, no, maybe a little bit more, I think. Just maybe about that much. Okay, so you don't want to overstuff it. It must be easy to squeeze. Okay, so now for the next round, I'm sure you might have guessed it. For the next round, we are going to put one single crochet and then a decrease all the way around. So one single crochet in the first stitch, put your stitch marker back on. Okay, and what I like to do when I'm in crocheting is I like to put my finger between my work and the stuffing, just so that I don't catch the stuffing in with the stitches. Okay, so again I'm gonna do a decrease now. That's one decrease, and then in the next stitch do one single crochet, one single crochet, and then another decrease. It's actually very much easier to lay it down on the table while working. And then one single crochet in the next stitch, and then another decrease. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now you just repeat those steps around, doing one single crochet, then a decrease all the way around until you get back to the beginning again. And in this round, you should have now 18 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so now I'm back at the beginning, and I think I'm just gonna stuff mine just a little bit more at the top here. Let me just pull the loop up a bit. Yeah, so just a tiny bit more here at the top, just a little bit more. Okay, I think that should be fine. Okay, so now for the next row, we are going to do a decrease in every stitch around. Now this should actually, after this round, it should bring our stitch count down to 12. So I think the previous round was actually this next round that we're on now should take us to 6 single crochets of the round. So the previous round you actually was supposed to have a stitch count of 12 and not 16, not 18. Okay, so you're just going to do a decrease in every stitch around. Okay, so we're going to go into the next stitch, into the front loops of the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through 2, and then we're going to repeat that all the way around until the beginning. Now we have just this last 2 to do a decrease in. Okay, so now we are now basically finished with our worry pet. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to cut a yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail, and then just pull that yarn up, and then we can get rid of our stitch marker. Now I'm just going to get your darning needle, going to thread on all 3 of these these strands. Okay. Okay, so once all of those strands are threaded on, we're now going to close off this top hole. So now, the way I like to do it is like how we do a decrease basically, but with our yarn and needle. So we're going to go through the front loops only of the stitches and pull through, give that a tug, again just through like the front loops of the stitches here, oops, yeah, no, I bumped my camera. Okay, let me just thread this again quickly. Okay, so now to end this off, just gonna maybe go through the center and come out the side. So gone through the center, then come out the side some way. Give this a tug. Come on. Yeah. Come on, yarn, come through. There we go. Okay. So now that's like already closed off nicely. So now we're just gonna finish sewing in our tail end. So now to do that, you're just gonna poke your needle in through any stitch and pull it through. So again, go through the same stitch you came out from. Come out in another stitch, like over there. Come on. And then pull that through. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so now we can just cut our yarn. Like that. Okay, so there we go. There is our little worry pet, a little stress ball. And these are good for kids with like ADHD or separation anxiety, or like any form of anxiety where they need something to squeeze or to fidget with. So yeah, if you like this tutorial, please let me know. Give this video a like or comment down below. And if you haven't seen last week's tutorial or my previous tutorial for the mock popcorn flower, it's this little guy here. I will put a link in the description box below of my previous tutorial. So yeah, if you like this video, give this a thumbs up, and yeah, enjoy crocheting, everybody. Thank you for watching.